Hi everyone, hope you are doing well. Today we will talk about when you are dealing with the data set and you get the error like that. So you can see that the error is getting type error object of the type float has no length. So this type of the error normally occurs when your data set has some null values basically, right? So today we will talk about how to deal with such errors and how to find the null values in your data set and how to remove it, right? So first I'm going to show you this type of the error, and this error normally observed when your uh, data set has some missing values. So let's start. So we have this Google Colab environment. So let's start and we will check the null values in our data set. So let's start from uh, Google Drive, from google.colab, import. So we'll make a link between the drive and Colab, right? So drive, then we have drive.mount, so that we can upload our data set over here and we can check the null values, right? So now what we will do, we will write over here, that is a content / drive, right? So let's link the Google Drive files with the Colab in this way by writing this command in the Python environment. So maybe it will take the time, but what I can do is run change runtime. I can, yes, connect with the Google. You basically connect through your Gmail account, right? It will take few seconds. So I'm going to connect through my Gmail account. Maybe my internet speed is slow, so sorry for delay. So allow this. So now we are going to make a connection of your Google Drive for folders with Colab, right? So mount it. So now let's generate new cell. I'm importing pandas library because we need to read our data set. Input pandas is PD, right? Fine. So now let's upload the data set. So for that, create a variable, for example, that is news data. In my case, what your data is, you can make any variable name. So that is pd.read. So we are going to, my data set is in Excel sheet. So I'm going to write this Excel. So now what we will do, we will upload, give the path over here, right, for the data set. So my data set is, sorry, is on the drive. So what I will do, see, I will move in this folder. Okay, so what we'll do over here, we will give the file path. So go into this folder, my drive, my drive. So I'm going to upload, give the path to my folder data set. So research projects. Inside that I have, for example, Cindy news classification. Inside that I have, okay, for example, I upload give path to this data set, final underscore test, and this is in the XLS, means Excel format. Click on these dots and copy the path. So we have copied our data set path. Just paste over here and check once, okay. So let's read this. Print news underscore data dot header dot head, right? Just read this, for example, 10 lines. And second thing, print news underscore data dot shape. Okay, so we are running, just we are reading the file over here, and we are printing the 10 values of the data set, and we want to check the shape of our data. Just run this. Okay, so see, this is our data set. It's basically a Sindhi data set that has the news, and this is a news column, and this has category. So if you can see that how much the data is, 87,551 news inside this data set. Maybe you can have more data. Now the challenge is we want to check that is there any null values. Let me remind you one thing. If your data set has some null values, then sometime when you analyze it, when you pre-process it, or maybe you visualize it, it basically gives the error that we saw before, right? So let's check the null values in my data set. So news data, we have function is null. And then what I want to sum that how many null values are there, right? So you will use the sum function over there. So we will see how many null values in my data set. So you can see in category column there is no null values, but in the news there is a one null value, means one cell is empty. So maybe you have multiple columns, and you may have the multiple categories, right? So it will count, it will give us the sum of total null values, but it's quite difficult to search out one by one that where this null value is. And secondly, if you have more than one, maybe 10, 15, 16, that is quite difficult. So how you basically remove that? So let's start. Replace this null value with some value, maybe with the zero, or maybe some text. My data is Sindhi language data, so I have text values, right? So let's remove or fill this null value in a news column. So new data, we can create new data. F means that is a final variable, and we can use the basically function. So first news data, right, dot fill, we are going to replace the null value, fill na. Then you will use this value. So if you want to replace your null value with zero, sometime we replace with the zero, for example, then you will write just a zero. It will replace that cell with a, but see, my data set is a string data set. So what I can do is I can just copy some text, right? Just maybe the actual, or maybe some another new line, right? So I copy this text and I want to fill this in my null value. So what I will do, I will just a string for a string, I will just paste this line. So this value will be filled in the empty cell, right? So now let's check the new data. So new underscore data f, so value is f. So now we have this new data, and now let's check the null values. So new underscore data f that we have is null function, and this sum now. Now we can check that how many null values are there, or we have removed it, or we have replaced with the text data. So just run this. So see, now there is no null values in my data set. So dear student, I hope this would be helpful for you. You can apply this on your huge corpus and data set. And remember, these such type of the null values generate the error like that. So whenever you have error like that, you should understand that there is null value in your data set. So it's fine for now. So see you in next lecture. Thank you.